Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Forge World and Games Workshop. Just recently, the other day, I surpassed 30,000 subscribers, so a huge thank you to all of you that have contributed to that. If you haven't already, check out the description where there is an affiliate link. If you want to buy all your miniatures from Element Games, that helps the channel out and helps me create further content. Furthermore, if you go on to Patreon, I do have one of those if you want to support the channel that way. Let's just jump over to the Warhammer Community website straight away. So from last week, the 11th of May, I did cover a lot of the kind of like the previews and the upcoming releases for the hobby, including those contrast paints from the live blog, the Warhammer Fest 2019 coverage. Since then, they have got this lovely article from the Black Library about the Siege of Terror and how it starts here with the Solar War, which is the first volume in the 8-book mega series. So there's going to be 8 of these books, and then we're finally going to be at the end of this ridiculously long saga that has spanned 13 years and 54 books. It's worth noting that the Solar War is out, I think, for pre-order. I think it comes out actually for release today. So that is £20. It's odd because, a couple of books ago they were sort of 16, then they went to 18, and now I'm pretty sure that all of these Siege of Terror books are going to be 20. So that is another, £160 worth of Horus Heresy Black Library novels to get you to the end of the full 62 books, I want to say. Okay, so that was a little look at them. There was a Kill Team Elites pre-orders that were live from last week. Another book for the Kill Team range. I think there's now 3 books. There's the core rules book, there's the Commanders, and now the Elites. To celebrate this last week, they had the pre-order for the new set called the Sanctoris with a load of scenery and a double-sided mat. Then they released, I think there were 3 boxes of these Kill Team Elites. One was the Orcs with the Flash Gits, the other one was the Death Guard Blight Lord Terminators, and then there were the Thousand Suns Terminators too. But I kind of covered them last week in their pre-order. Also the pre-order preview was for Forbidden Power, which I think is up for pre-order today. They look at the Sigmar's Storm Vaults and the Necroquake. You've also got the book there and a load of modular scenery and endless spells as well. The modular scenery looks really, really cool. I think it's quite pricey though. We're going to have a look at those because they're on Games Workshop's web store today. But I think it's really cool. I can't wait to see the conversions and things that the community come up with for these on, gaming tables and things. So they look pretty good. Then they had this Chaos Undecided, Tales of Forbidden Power Whispers by Loonlight. Nice little article there, and then you can download that. There was a Battle Sister Bulletin revealing the first ever Sisters of Battle model, and it's just the one from the cover of James Swallow's novel Faith and Fire. The model designer is Darren Latham, and yeah, he has done an incredible job. The model, you could look at that model in the flesh at the Warhammer Fest event last weekend. She is clad in the power armour, and it's just a really, really nice look at things to come from Sisters of Battle. Lots of detail, a lovely ornate base. Doesn't actually say when they're going to come out, but I can't think it'd be that long left until they have their release schedule. Maybe it could be over the summer, maybe it could be a little bit after the summer, but who knows. Then there was a Golden Demon and Everchosen massive painting news. So last weekend was amazing for Citadel Colour, what with the contrast paints, but also they announced the Slayer Sword winner 2019, which was Maxime Penaud. Hope I've pronounced your name correctly. Absolutely stunningly painted model, and there's a little article with him, and it also says that Golden Demon is returning to the US next year at Adepticon, so that'll be Adepticon 2020 if you're interested. There's also the brand new prize for the winner, and you can view that on the Warhammer Community website. So there was a look at the Forbidden Power unboxing. You've got the box there, you've got enough to build the Penumbral engine, and also some endless spells, you've got some core rules, and so on. So it's a shame that it doesn't show you exactly what's in the box, if you see what I mean, like a painted version of them all, of all the items, which they did do with the other set quite recently, but that would have been great. Then they've got a rumour engine for the 14th of May. A few days ago, Forbidden Power the Law. Nice little video there, showing some of the new scenery pieces and a little bit about the Penumbral engines. I don't have a clue what they're about, but they're in that article there if you wish to read. Then they've got some downloadable command terminals for Adeptus Titanicus. This is quite interesting. So you've got this Doom of Moloch expansion where you can field a force consisting solely of knights. Obviously each knight is weaker than a single titan, but an assembled household can tear apart a full titan mana pool with massed firepower and unbreakable courage. If you press download, you can then get this PDF, and here are the command terminals. So there you go. You've got the Questoris Knight banners, and you've got a Reaver Titan there, and a Warhound, and a Warlord. So you can download those and add more if you don't fancy buying the cardboard ones. Then they had an article covering the summer of Warhammer events. The UK Games Expo is the next thing to come out. You've also got Black Library Live, which is the 1st of June at Warhammer World, so just a couple of weeks away for that. And you'll have 9 seminars where you can delve into all the topics that Black Library cover, and you'll be able to meet a lot of the authors such as Dan Abnett, Chris Wright and William King, also Rachel Harrison, Nate Crowley and Alec Worley. Then in Tennessee in America you've got the ATC, the American Team Championship, and that will run from the July the 12th to the 14th. And you've got Gen Con August 1st to the 4th, and so on. So you've got a fair few number of events there. Then there was an article about Kill Team Johan Egerkrans Deathwatch. A little look at his Deathwatch, these Primaris Deathwatch. Really, really cool looking minis. The Primaris Space Marines suit them very, very well. There's a preview for the Endless Spells, Regimental Standard, Slime Arbofax. And if we just have a look at Slime Arbofax, it says Slime Arbo threw a grenade and killed 5 orcs, then it exploded. Slime Arbo poked the warp right in the Eye of Terror. Flak Armour wears Slime Arbo for protection. So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, pretty funny if you want to read those little kind of one-line jokes about them. Kind of like in the same vein as like the Chuck Norris jokes, like when he does a press up, he's actually pushing the world down. And there was Forbidden Power, the Artifacts, Middle Earth blog, Hobbit holes around the office. So they're using some of these pieces from a brand new terrain kit. It's a Hobbit hole upgrade set. So basically it's a resin kit that allows you to create your own Hobbit holes using the pieces. I mean, they look pretty fun, and I mean, yeah, if you're going to make your own diorama and things and use the Hobbit models, then probably worth it. And I'm really interested to see what people can come up with. So that's those. And then you've got the Siege of Terror Ultimate Battle Begins, and they've now got an actual website from Black Library. So if we just go to check it out now, and then you can shop the Siege of Terror now. So, I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they've spent all this time and money and effort on this specific website when their book got sold out within a day. That is a bit odd in my books. Yeah, then you've got the skulls for the Skull Throne, and welcome to digital gaming. You've got some announcements for other sort of games where Games Workshop have sort of let different game companies use their sort of license to make the games. Pretty good. There's lots of games out now. Then we had a look at the Forge World pre-orders. Also it says here the Praetor, so you've got a White Scars Legion Praetor. When I put up my picture of the Leviathan Sea Dreadnought, the Praetor wasn't actually up for pre-order. So I will be covering that model now in this video, but the Leviathan Dreadnought is really, really cool looking model. A lot of people have also given feedback on my Instagram and on YouTube, you know, like where are the atypical kind of White Scars units in terms of the jet bikes and the fast attack units. They're coming. I think, I don't know the reason why Forge World have decided to put these kind of slower units out first. I'd much rather they have staggered releases. Forge World are not one to normally just release everything at once like Games Workshop sometimes do. Games Workshop do stagger their releases as well from time to time, but Forge World in particular definitely staggers, and I for one at least prefer them to do you know, sort of staggered releases. I mean, think about it, if you're releasing like a £76 Dreadnought and then, you know, some jet bikes which are £30 each, you know, that's quite a huge amount of money to sort of expect from hobbyists in sort of 1 week, but I'm sure White Scars players will get their fast attack units you know, over the next few weeks. Then we can look forward to maybe more Blood Angels units as we gear up for the new Dark Angels units. If you've seen the previews of them, they look absolutely stunning. I'll put some on the Instagram. Then you've got an article on turn signals on the Land Raider and Forbidden Power, the scenery. This is a closer look at this scenery. That is one of those penumbral engines, by the way. Interesting. It says taking them from storm vaults and they affect the game. You know, they behave differently throughout the whole game. Obviously, you know, you roll the dice and you find out what they're doing through the game. Then you've got the Dominion of Sigmar scenery. It's been designed with gaming in mind, blocks line of sight, and so on. And then they've even got the war scroll for them too. And then Forge World previews, halflings and heroes. So next week we actually get a preview of what's coming next week for Forge World, which is quite rare, I want to say. You've got this new Blood Bowl team. We're finally getting some halflings for them. If you like that team, you get a different, you get a halfling themed pitch, team cards, lucky dice, and issue 5 of Spike, which features them on the front cover. And then you get a tree man. It's a made to order model and some more halfling made to order models. And then for Forge World, you're getting the release of 2 infamous bounty hunters for Necromunda, which is Cal Jericho, which, you know, if you've been in 40k for 10-20 years or so, you must have heard of him before, and also the sidekick Scabs. So they're all the models coming out for the Forge World next week to pre-order. And then finally, you had a recent article only put up today of the Risen Dead and Rising Heroes, a look at a Age of Sigmar Rulers of the Dead novel, Myths and Revenants, Warhammer Chronicles, the Skaven Wars Black Plague, and then new in the Warhammer Horror range is Genevieve Undead. And then for 40k, you've also got Rise of the Inari Wild Rider by Gav Thorpe, and they're all up for pre-order. So speaking of which, let's jump on over to Forge World and have a look at those White Scars models. So if we just go to new and then we select pre-orders, here we go. So here is the White Scars Leviathan Dreadnought with Siege Claw and Storm Cannon. It's £76. It's quite a lot of money, but it is, I say, the largest Dreadnought. Technically it's the 3rd largest Dreadnought now, because the Redemptor Dreadnought is bigger than the Leviathan, but it's not quite as big as the largest Dreadnought, which is the Custodes Telemon Heavy Dreadnought, which is the tallest and the sort of bulkiest. But anyway, that can be yours with those weapon loadouts. You can buy it separately for £50. You can buy the weapons at £13 each, because that'd be 26 plus the 50 is 76. So if you can really tailor make this Dreadnought how you wish by buying those weapons separately. The rules, they are found in the Imperial Armour Index Forces of the Adeptus Astartes, which did come out a good 2 years ago now, but you can still use it in 40k. In 30k, clearly the rules for these are in the new book 8 and also in the Legion book. So that's a little look at the Dreadnought. Definitely fits in with the range. You know, I do like the helmet and the gold and the ropes and the you know, the lightning on there. Weapon loadout wise, It's a tricky one because, in my opinion, well, what you'd really want to do is you want to try and magnetise these weapon arms if you could. But yeah, in my opinion, it's always best to go for a role-specific unit. So if you're going for close combat, get that claw and siege drill. But if you're going for sort of ranged, you might want to look at the cyclonic melter weapon, or the storm cannon, or even the grav flux bombard. There's just so many weapons to just remember, but you can pick those and then just add them to that. Then you've got the White Scars Legion Praetor. He's in quite a nice sort of running pose, and he does have a helmet as well, which is pretty good if you just wanted him to use him as sort of like a normal kind of Legion Praetor. But still, he's got a lot of White Scars iconography, such as the emblem of White Scars on his right knee plate, and he's got this big old blade that looks a lot like a hockey stick. So he would go quite well with the Cataphractii Terminators, which they have yet to release. I don't know whether they'll release them next week, probably be the week after, so you've got a little while to wait before you can get that set of miniatures. That's everything up for pre-order for Forge World. So very, Space Marine and White Scar specific pre-order release this weekend. Let's jump on over to Games Workshop and look at these Warhammer Age of Sigmar pre-orders. Now, I don't collect Age of Sigmar at all, but they are up for pre-order, so I thought I'd just cover them. Let's have a look at high to low. So you've got this Shattered Dominion of Sigmar collection, which includes the Dominion of Sigmar, the Enduring Storm Vault. It includes the Sigmarite Dais, or Dais, whatever you want to call it. I don't know whether it includes the Shattered Temple, but it definitely includes the Time-Worn Ruins. Oh yeah, it does. They sometimes do this where they don't show everything that's in that bundle on that first page. It's quite confusing. You have to click on it to see exactly what it's got in there. But that's £385, which is pretty horrific price-wise. And of course, you don't save anything from clicking that pre-order button from buying them all separately. So it just saves you a little bit of time at the checkout. Well, 10 seconds or so. Anyway, then you've got the new release, which is this Dominion of Sigmar, the Enduring Storm Vault. It's £95 for a scenery kit. I'm 100% sure it's made in China. It looks like it's this darker plastic. You've got the sprues there. It's got a fair bit of detail on, and you must get a lot of scenery. But at the end of the day, it's quite pricey. One of their priciest, plastic scenery kits now. They're definitely taking a plunge, a gamble with this kit. You're almost breaching this £100 mark. So it's a huge sort of investment in this game and the hobby overall. Then you've got Soul Wars: The Forbidden Power. So this is that box set that has these endless spells in, and a book and some cards. I don't know whether this is just a different way of them selling you the endless spells, but for £55 instead of like 15 or 20, but it is what it is. Then you've got the Dominion of Sigmarite Dais. This looks pretty cool though. I'm not sure I'm a fan of those torches there, but that's £40. Again, quite pricey, but it must be pretty large scenery piece. And then this Shattered Temple is £27.50. But that looks pretty good. If you wanted to have some kind of like little duel going on between two characters, that'd be a nice place to have that. And then you've got the Time-Worn Ruins, which of course you could just put on any of these scenery pieces. They've even got an example there with the Shattered Temple look. I'd like to know how they have achieved this colouring in terms of these sort of bone marble effects with the shading. You've got the Kill Team Elites Enhanced Edition and e-publications. You've got the Myths and Revenants hardback book for £18. You've got the Skaven Wars Black Plague paperback for £15. Rulers of the Dead paperback for £8.99, and then the Genevieve Undead paperback for £8.99, and then you've got the Rise of Inari Wild Rider paperback for £8.99. You've also got the Forbidden Power War Scrolls cards, which you get. They'll send you them free when you order your copy of Forbidden Power. That's interesting. So there you go. All it is this week for Games Workshop is just a pre-order of these Age of Sigmar scenery kits and the Soul Wars Forbidden Power Endless Spells. So I want to say not much of a pre-order release this week compared to previous weeks, but still, if you tot it all up, it's still a fair amount of money there. Anyway, that's all of the news and pre-orders for Forge World and Games Workshop. Let me know what you think of those White Scars models, and also this new scenery piece, and also these new scenery kits, especially if you've seen them at the Warhammer Fest last week. Please do put all your comments and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.